Plans for Father's Day do take you further north. We will have a couple of scattered rain showers, maybe an isolated rumble of thunder, but here in mid-Michigan we will be completely dry, but the humidity is definitely going to be an issue. That is going to be our main concern with the forecast as we go forward, as we have a pretty significant heat wave moving into mid-Michigan next week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, high temperatures will be topping out in the mid-90s. We dip down just slightly as we move throughout the day next Friday, and then eventually into the weekend. Now, the heat index is going to be a big issue since we will have dew point temperatures in the upper 60s to low 70s. That heat index is going to be in the triple digits at certain points in time. You're going to hear that term heat index quite a lot over the next few days, so I want to take a quick moment just to explain exactly what it is and why we have it. So let's take a situation where we have air temperatures in the mid-90s, but dew point temperatures are near 55 degrees. At that point, there's not a whole lot of moisture in the atmosphere, so as our bodies try to cool us down through sweating, we cool off from a process called evaporative cooling. But if we take a situation like we have early next week where our dew point temperatures are close to 70 degrees, we increase the amount of moisture in the atmosphere, we have less evaporative cooling that actually occurs, so our sweat just kind of pools up on our body, we feel hotter, and that's when we have that heat index or feels like temperature in the triple digits. And again, that's going to be the case for the majority of next week.
Taking you to the movies. A new film not only brings action to the big screen, but also a potential lesson about severe weather. 6 News meteorologist Kendall tells you how.
Movies. They are one of America's favorite pastimes, but there's a new film that premiered in theaters on Friday that is not only entertaining, but experts say it can also help to raise public awareness about severe weather and the importance of severe weather alerts, even though the film has a little Hollywood twist on the facts.
Go faster.
Let's ride. Any movie that has to do with severe weather is good because it increases awareness.
And that's exactly what Twisters, a standalone sequel to the 1996 blockbuster hit Twister, does. Even though some of its scientific facts are, let's just say, not 100% accurate, Ingham County Emergency Manager Rob Dale says the film still shows the importance of receiving severe weather alerts.
What we want people to do is just realize that it can happen just about anywhere, certainly here in mid-Michigan. And we want people to be alert to not only those changing conditions, but ways to get notifications. So it's time to consider, do I have a weather radio? Do I have the appropriate apps? Do I have emergency alerts signed up for?
The film shows the real-world impacts that tornadoes can have on a community, and Dale says that can give viewers an opportunity to start thinking about their own severe weather plan.
It's really one of those things that if you don't have that ahead of time, then when something goes wrong, it's too late to make a plan. So we really want to take this time and use movies like this to raise awareness that, okay, it's not a drawn out long-term thing, but what can I have? What can I put in place that will keep me and my family, my friends safe?
For information on what to include in your severe weather plan and more factual information on severe weather, you can go to the Weather Wednesday section of our website, WLNS.com. Here for you in Lansing, Kendall 6 News. Large line of severe weather that we are still going to need to track as we move throughout the next few hours, and take a look at just how much lightning has occurred within these storms just within the past few minutes. Lightning is a very good indicator of the strength of these storms, and with this lightning increasing, it also does mean that our chance for strong storms is also increasing as well. We do still have widespread severe thunderstorm watches that will continue until we hit 5 o'clock tomorrow morning, but I do think our severe weather threat is going to end just shortly before that. Again, slight risk for severe weather is still in place across mid-Michigan, threat level 2 out of 5. We have already started to see just a few tornado warnings just to the southwest of Kalamazoo, something that we will still need to keep an eye on as we go throughout the overnight hours tonight. So even though we have a low chance for tornadoes, I want everyone to kind of think of it as a non-zero chance. Still, an isolated tornado is going to be possible, but it is not the main concern. What we're really going to be watching is the chance for damaging winds gusting up to 60+ miles per hour and the potential for large hail, possibly up to 1 inch in diameter, if not just slightly larger, isolated within these thunderstorms. Good morning, McCoy. You know, these power outages that we saw here in mid-Michigan started yesterday right around 3 or 4 o'clock. That is the exact time frame that we saw this wet, heavy, and dense snow actually move into the area. I'm going to have my photographer pan down our driveway here, and you can see that this wet snow is still clinging onto the trees and power lines in the area. Taking a look at the power outages that we are seeing across mid-Michigan, you know, right around an hour ago, we were sitting at 29,000 across mid-Michigan in terms of numbers from Consumers Energy, Board of Water and Light, and DTE. Right now we are down to 27,000. So crews are out. They are working to get these power outages taken care of. But since we are looking at forecasted gusts up to 30 and 40 miles per hour again for this evening, I do think a few more isolated outages will be possible before we actually finish off the day. Something to note is we will have some very cold Arctic air moving right back into the area as early as tomorrow. By this time of year, many people are settling into fall. We're wearing sweatshirts, watching football, drinking pumpkin spice lattes, and of course, looking forward to a vibrant display of fall colors. You know, typically we see fall foliage peak in late October across mid-Michigan. But our recent batch of warm and dry weather will not only impact the timing, but also the vibrancy of this year's display. You see, fall foliage is actually very temperamental. In order for a picture-perfect, vibrant display, conditions need to be just right. With temperatures, that means that we need to have conditions close to average, with warm temperatures during the day and cooler temperatures moving in overnight. Those cooler conditions will actually help to build the sugars within the leaves that will eventually go on to produce those bright colors. But when conditions are warmer than normal, like we saw last month, the peak of fall foliage is delayed, sometimes by weeks, and it can also lead to a duller color change. So instead of our leaves turning out those beautiful shades of red, orange, and yellow, well, the leaves turn out a little browner. Precipitation actually has the same impact. Remember, we had a really dry September. Overall, our rainfall totals for the month were over 2 inches below normal, which can also lead to a duller and delayed color change. In addition, those dry conditions can cause our leaves to drop earlier, meaning that the display is relatively short-lived. It's almost like the story of Goldilocks and the Three Bears. In order for a vibrant color change, conditions need to be just right. I mean, not too hot, not too cold, not too wet, and not too dry. And unfortunately for us here in mid-Michigan, our weather this year, well, it wasn't just right. We had a very strong line of severe thunderstorms make their way through mid-Michigan earlier this afternoon. And on satellite and radar, you can still see a lot of lightning associated with these lines of storms as they continue to race off to the southeast. A current look at Doppler radar shows those heavy rainfall and actually the strong winds associated with these showers and thunderstorms just now moving into southeastern sections of Jackson County, Washtenaw County, and then over into Hillsdale County as well. We have a few additional severe thunderstorm warnings just to keep you updated. The latest one in Jackson County is going to expire at 6:15. In Washtenaw County, your severe thunderstorm warning will expire at 6:30. And these severe thunderstorms are being warned not only because they have the potential of producing those strong winds upwards of 60 miles per hour, but also the latest reports do include some pea-sized hail embedded within these stronger thunderstorm cores as well. With those winds being so strong, it's no wonder that we have thousands of power outages across mid-Michigan. Further off to our west in Hastings, 4 inches of snow already as of 4 o'clock, and we just got a brand new report in over from Grand Ledge as of 11:30. Those snowfall totals also near 4 inches as well. Now, as we go throughout the rest of the day, the conditions that we see on the roadways really going to depend on our temperatures. You can see on our temperature trend that we're likely only going to rise just a few degrees above freezing. So unfortunately, that does mean that we can expect these slick conditions to stick around throughout the day, especially for those of us north of I-94.